Good afternoon from Joliet, Illinois, and Joliet Memorial Stadium, the home of the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints, as the Saints take on the Fighting Bees of St. Ambrose today in CCAC soccer action. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for a big conference matchup today between the Saints and the Bees. St. Francis comes in with an overall record this season of 8-2. Both of those losses have come in conference play, so they are 5-2 in CCAC action this year. St. Ambrose tied with them in the conference at 5-2. They are 7-4 overall. So a big one today between two teams who are trying to make a push towards the top. It is incredibly tight at the top of the CCAC right now. The top 6 teams are all separated by just 3 points, and these two teams are both right in the mix. St. Francis coming off of a very tough loss their last time out on the road at Olivet Nazarene, so they look to get back on track today against this St. Ambrose team who has been difficult to beat. The Saints have only pulled off that trick one time in school history. They'll try to make it 2 today as they line up on the field ready to get started. St. Francis is in white. They're going from left to right here in the first half, shooting into the south goal. And St. Ambrose is in navy blue. They're going from right to left for the first 45 minutes. They'll be shooting into the north goal as we are underway. St. Francis getting the opening kick and sending it immediately onto their offensive end of the field. Caitlin Brunson plays it for St. Ambrose and passes off to Natalie Miller along the sideline. Then they work it back towards the goalkeeper, Rachel Willett. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both of these teams. St. Ambrose has Erin Smothers, Mary Evans, Adrian Latham, Tori Timmerman, Taylor DeSplinter, Morgan Wallen, Haley Solander, Natalie Miller, Caitlin Brunson, and Keely Frericks among their starting 11. The goalkeeper is Rachel Willett, who has split time with Molly McLaughlin in net this season. Willett is making her 8th start out of the team's 12 games played. She's allowed 6 goals this season, an average of 0.84, 29 saves, an .829 save percentage. And she has been in net for 5 victories this year for the Fighting Bees. As Litzy Corona tries to head it inbounds, but sends it the wrong way out at midfield. We've got a throw in for St. Ambrose on the attack early on here. Piotrowski halts the attack initially. Another chance for St. Ambrose. Morgan Wallen works her way in towards the back line, and Yadira Estrada dives on top of that ball and does not allow Wallen to continue the attack. Nice play by Yadira Estrada, the senior goalkeeper for the Fighting Saints. Estrada has started now 11 times for St. Francis this year. She's been out there every game. Hasn't played all of every game. Ellie Provo has appeared in 2 halves as well, but Estrada has appeared in every game. She's allowed 6 goals, .66 per match, 34 saves. She's got an impressive .850 save percentage. 5 shutouts this season for Yadira Estrada. In fact, she's been part of 7 shutouts. A couple of combined ones with Ellie Provo as well. Towards the sideline for St. Ambrose. They keep it in play. This is Caitlin Brunson passing it back towards the middle. St. Francis tries to keep the pressure on, but St. Ambrose's defense is going to get an opportunity to clear here. Let's take a look at the starters for St. Francis today. You've met their goalkeeper, Yadira Estrada. They've also got Emily Galvin, Alexis Mariquin, Claudia Hernandez, Litzy Mendez, Allison Shar, Anna Jakubiak, Litzy Corona, who tries to make the play there. Claudia Hernandez pokes it loose from Mary Evans, but St. Ambrose is able to clear. Last 3 starters for St. Francis are Lauren Pekalski, Grace Giallo, and Kelly Piotrowski on that back line. No score, just a couple of minutes into the action today. St. Ambrose works the ball into the middle of the field. In the midfield circle, passed off towards the right sideline. That's Erin Smothers up from the midfield, passing it ahead where it's deflected out of bounds by the Fighting Saints. So we've got a corner kick coming up for St. Ambrose. First corner kick of the game for either side. And potentially the first real scoring chance for either team here as St. Ambrose looks to strike first. Fighting Bees have scored nearly 4 goals per game. They play it short on the corner kick. There's a shot, and that goes through. A goal for St. Ambrose. I believe that was Morgan Wallen scoring her team-leading 8th goal of the season. Off the corner kick, Wallen receives the pass, takes the shot from the right side of the net, and she's able to get it in over the head of Yadira Estrada. So we're not yet 4 minutes into the action here. St. Ambrose takes a 1-goal lead. I just said St. Ambrose has got a fearsome offense. St. Francis would have their hands full today, and already that's very clear. St. Ambrose ahead right off the bat. That's now going back to their last game. 4 straight goals that the Fighting Saints have surrendered, which is a rarity for a team that has been pretty dominant overall this year. That ball gets away into the box. An easy pickup for Yadira Estrada this time. Wallen's goal, again her 8th of the season. It's 2 more than Tori Timmerman leading the team. That's the 41st goal this year scored by the Bees. Passed ahead by St. Ambrose. They work it into the middle of the field. Passed off to Mary Evans. Evans touches it once to the left side. Natalie Miller. Miller along the sideline. Sends it ahead for Brunson. Caitlin Brunson crosses in front of the net. Chance for Wallen here. Estrada dives in front of her. Nice stop by Yadira Estrada. Back to Evans. The attack is still alive for St. Ambrose. Trying for a goal on the rebound, but it's knocked out of bounds. This one belongs to St. Ambrose here, but the ball going out along the sideline allows the defense to get themselves set a little bit better. Adrian Latham comes up from the defensive side. Latham will toss this ball in. Knocked away by Kelly Pietrowski. Right back to Latham, who lets it roll out of bounds. She'd rather take her chances on another throw-in. Lobbed in front of the net, headed into the middle of the field, and cleared by Allison Shar of St. Francis. I think we had a handball there on St. Ambrose as well, so the Fighting Saints get a free kick back in their own territory. Trailing 1-0 early on here. About 5.5 minutes into the action. St. Ambrose scored an early goal off of a corner kick. Now it's up to St. Francis to try to respond. Fighting Saints led Olivet Nazarene 2-0 in their most recent contest. That one on Wednesday night. But Olivet came back, scored 3 unanswered, ended up winning in overtime 3-2. So that means since that 2-0 lead on Wednesday in the first half, Saints have been outscored 4-0. On the season, they've outscored their opponents by 3.8 goals per game. St. Ambrose trying to penetrate this St. Francis defense again here, but Pekalski is able to track that ball down in front of Tori Timmerman. Turn it towards the sideline and out of bounds. Knocked out by Timmerman. Saints have outscored their opponents this year 44-7. So the collective 4 straight goals that they've allowed actually make up more than half the goals they've given up all season. Offsides on St. Ambrose sets up the free kick for St. Francis here. Estrada sets it up. And finally Estrada gives the kick down the sideline on the near side. Towards that line, it bounces out of bounds. Claudia Hernandez tosses it in. Immediately knocked right back out by Evans of St. Ambrose. Throw in to Litzy Mendez. Mendez taps it into the middle for Corona. A whistle blows. There's a player down for St. Francis. It's Litzy Mendez, who was taken down as she passed the ball off to her left, looking for Corona. And she ran into the foot of a St. Ambrose defender. So the Fighting Saints, I think, are going to get a free kick from right outside the box here when they're ready to go. But they're not ready to go just yet, as Mendez is being stretched out by a couple of her teammates, and now the training staff comes out as well. 1-0 St. Ambrose leads. They scored a goal just a few minutes in. Not directly on the corner kick, but just off of a corner kick. A couple of passes in front of the score from the right side of the field. And St. Ambrose has kept pressure on since then as well. Fighting Saints have yet to develop a really good scoring chance so far. They're going to try to change that here as soon as they're ready to continue. Mendez is up on her feet now. Let's see, Mendez, the junior forward from Joliet West High School, enjoying a good junior season for the Fighting Saints. And for that reason, among others, they're very happy that she's going to stay in the game here. She's okay. She walks off a little bit gingerly, but to her left, she'll stay in as Litzy Corona takes the free kick from just a couple of yards outside the box. Corona is the team's leading goal scorer, among the leaders in the nation. She takes the kick with the left hand, and it is stuck by the goalkeeper, Rachel Willett. A good save by Willett off of a good kick from Corona. Corona's going to try again, looking for the steal from Evans in the box, but Mary Evans gets it right back. Nice recovery by Evans. Following the good save by Willett, the defense does its job for St. Ambrose on this possession. Now the Bees make their way down the field offensively, but Piotrowski gets to the ball before Caitlin Brunson can. And the Saints will clear it with their goalkeeper. So the first good scoring chance of the game for St. Francis comes on a free kick from just outside the box, a little bit off to the right of dead center. Litzy Corona took the kick, and Willett made a nice save. That was Corona's 35th shot on goal this season. That's more than twice as many as anybody else on this St. Francis team. But Corona has been sensational offensively for the Fighting Saints all year. It's a battle for the ball at midfield, and it's won by Pilarski and the Fighting Saints. Given right back up to the Bees. This is Evans tapping it to her right, trying to find Frericks. And the ball is loose in the middle of the field. Corona's got it. Corona turns it upfield. Corona takes the shot with the left foot, and it's a little bit wide to the right. Litzy Corona has been very aggressive early in this game. That's her second shot. Second shot in just the last minute, in fact. They've both been close. One of them saved by Rachel Willett. That time it was out of Willett's range, but fortunately for the Bees, out of the net's range as well. Just went wide and out of bounds. But a really good setup by Corona just to get that shot off. She's been one of the best offensive players in the country this year. She's already got 15 goals. That's more than some teams have scored all season up to this stage. Back to Willits. St. Ambrose trying to clear it to the other side of the field. So far, no success. Now a big kick down the far side, deflected back towards midfield and to the sideline, out of bounds. Throw in coming up for the Fighting Saints. And it'll be the freshman Anna Jakubiak sending it in. Deflected right back out. Jakubiak will try it again. Controlled by Shar. She tried to get it to Mendez, but it's intercepted. Back into the box. Sent towards the sideline and out by Adrian Latham. Another throw-in coming up for the Fighting Saints. Over 10 minutes into the action here, and there has been some early action, especially on the visitors' side. St. Ambrose has the 1-goal lead. Trying to extend that, Tori Timmerman pushes it downfield. Nobody there, though. Sent harmlessly back to the foot of Yadira Estrada. Saints senior goalkeeper makes her way out of the box and passes to her right. This is Grace Giallo. Giallo's pass is intercepted. Brunson, with Pilarski coming in behind, has to slow things up and pass to the right side at midfield. This is Miller stepping in for St. Ambrose. Miller can't get it back. A nice diving stop by Grace Giallo to turn things back the Saints' way. Hernandez's ball is deflected out of bounds. A throw-in coming up for the Fighting Saints. Trailing by a goal early, but over the last few minutes, they've been the better team. They're trying to keep it going that way. Hernandez tosses it in off the head of Latham and knocked out of bounds, this time by the Fighting Saints. Pietrowski gets to that ball before Tori Timmerman can. And Yadira Estrada sends it downfield off the head of Pilarski. Hernandez, big kick towards the box, and it gets into the box where Rachel Willett steps in and hits it out of bounds. So as Willett knocks it out from the goalkeeper's position, we get another throw in for the Saints. In the attacking zone here. Can they mount a legitimate attack though? Not this try. Hernandez's pass taken away by St. Ambrose. This one outside the box. Yadira Estrada can't scoop it up. She plays it with her feet, kicks it into the middle of the field to Pietrowski. Far side, it's Galvin. Galvin brings it back to the near side, and Grace Giallo. Saints operating deliberately on this possession so far. Working with the ball on the defensive end. Finally, they get it across midfield. Hernandez tries to turn it upfield, and Mary Evans gets in the way of her pass, deflects it straight out of bounds, and creates a throw-in. Pekalski tosses right in front of her to Hernandez. Hernandez is forced to the ground by Caitlin Brunson. And the foul is called there. Caitlin Brunson, freshman midfielder slash forward for St. Ambrose from Marion, Iowa, and she is the reigning CCAC Offensive Player of the Week. Not overall the best offensive player on this team, but certainly the hottest. And one that the Saints will have to keep an eye on today as Litzy Corona sets it up for the free kick. Corona goes down the middle and towards the net, where it's picked up easily on one hop by Rachel Willett. Willett's made a couple of plays today off of Litzy Corona free kicks. That last time Corona was trying to kick it in from a long way out. That was a tough one. Here's Brunson over to Miller. Natalie Miller sends it ahead. It's Evans from Wallen. Evans looking to her right, trying to find something in the middle of the field, and she finds Wallen. Wallen takes the shot, and it's a little bit too high. Good looking attempt right there from Morgan Wallen. Just sent it over the net. Estrada sized it up to try to jump, but it was out of her reach, and that's usually a good thing. If it's out of the goalkeeper's reach, usually means it's going to hit the crossbar or go over, and it did just barely go over right there. Less than a half hour to play in the first half. Saints have some work to do. Trying to do that work right here, but the St. Ambrose defense is playing a little bit too well at the moment. This is Giallo from the defensive side of St. Francis. Grace Giallo dribbles it up towards midfield, passes to her left. And the ball is taken away, but taken right back by Claudia Hernandez. Evans gets it away from Hernandez again. Morgan Wallen's ball goes too far and out of bounds. Estrada could have played that one. She elected instead to go for the goal kick. So she let it roll out. Yadira Estrada's got it all set. She sends it along the near side. Off the head of Evans. Knocked back by Giallo. In the midfield circle. Anybody's ball, and it's secured by St. Ambrose. Aubrey Langen brought that one in. Setting it up once again for the Bees. Back to the defensive end. Latham rolls it ahead to Evans. To the outside, Natalie Miller. Miller gets it up to midfield, and Wallen. Good ball through to the left side. Long run for Brunson. Can she keep it in? She does just barely keep it in down in the corner. Brunson looking for the cross. Has Wallen coming over the middle. Wallen shot deflected by Galvin. Loose in front of the net and now cleared by St. Francis, at least for the moment. St. Ambrose sticking with it, though. Push to the right side. Timmerman's ball goes out of bounds. Correction, Aaron Smothers' ball went out of bounds there, but a dangerous attack from St. Ambrose. Saints defense was able to do their part and keep the deficit at 1. Strong possession there defensively for the Fighting Saints. Here comes Giallo. Giallo passes off to Piotrowski. Piotrowski deep down the left side, headed back away by St. Ambrose. Let's see Mendez able to track down that loose ball at midfield. Here's Galvin once again for the Saints. Crossfield to Giallo. Giallo making a good unobstructed run. And now she's picked up by Evans. Her pass to the right side is deflected by Evans out of bounds. Toss back into Corona. Corona can't get by 2 defenders. Towards the back line, Corona tries to keep it in. Corona pokes it with the left foot to her left side, and it is out of bounds. Goal kick coming up for St. Ambrose. Good effort from Corona. After it looked like it was going to be an easy goal kick, she at least made St. Ambrose work for it. But once they did work for it, they got what they were looking for in the first place. The ball went out. Last touch by St. Francis. There's a good challenge for the ball, and a shot deflected over the net. And we've got a corner kick coming up. Excellent defensive play by Claudia Hernandez, nearly turned into offense. That shot on goal prevents, or I should say the save prevented the equalizer, but the corner kick coming up now for St. Francis. There's another chance for them to tie it. It's deflected away by the St. Ambrose defense. Corona comes in from the corner, tries to gain possession of the ball again, but Brunson takes it away. Brunson down along the sideline, deflects it off of Timmerman and out of bounds. At midfield, Piotrowski taps it over to Galvin. Galvin works her way forward from the left side. Here's Piotrowski. Over to Giallo. Grace Giallo dribbles a few times. Passes it towards the sideline where it's knocked out by Caitlin Brunson. Battle for the ball along the sideline. That time it was Natalie Miller who hit the ball out of bounds. Again, it's a St. Francis throw-in. Pekalski right in front of her. This is Shar in the corner. Shar turns and boots it off of number 24, Natalie Miller in blue. Another corner kick right here for the Fighting Saints. And Litzy Corona once again heads down to take it. Corona's had some good chances on set pieces today. This one goes towards the back post and it's knocked away. Galvin steps up defensively. The ball gets by her, so she sends it back to Estrada. Piotrowski in the middle of the field for the Fighting Saints. 10 yards short of midfield. Headed by St. Ambrose, out of bounds. Last touched by Natalie Miller. Miller's from around here. Homer Glen native. She attended Lockport Township High School. Most St. Ambrose teams usually have a pretty good contingent of Chicago South Suburbans. Not so much this year's women's soccer team. We've got a few of them, but not as many as you'd usually see. Here's Pekalski. Pekalski working her way down to the back line. Miller takes it away, and Miller hits the ball away from Pekalski out of bounds. Hernandez working against Evans, and Evans wins that duel. Here comes Grace Giallo rolling it ahead to Litzy Mendez. Giallo gets it back at midfield. Coming in defensively, Brunson forces the pass. Evans is there to take it away on the other side of that pass. Good defense by Brunson and Evans, and cleared by St. Ambrose. So this game has transitioned to become a midfielders game after both teams had some chances early on. St. Ambrose capitalized on their biggest opportunity to score. They got the scoring started back in the 4th minute. Morgan Wallen scored her 8th goal of the season. It was the 4th assist of the year for Aaron Smothers. Down the sideline, deflected back to the middle of the field. Shar trying to set this up for the Fighting Saints. This is Mendez now. And taps back once again to the defensive side of the field. Good defense by St. Ambrose. Can the Saints start something this time? Giallo and Piotrowski, a little two-man game down the field. Now ahead to Litzy Mendez. Mendez gives it back to Piotrowski. She lofts it to the left side, deflected. Taken by St. Ambrose. Saints work the ball in, deflected back towards Pekulski. St. Ambrose gets it back. Here's Miller. Into the middle for Evans. Evans steps around Mendez. Mendez deflected the pass though. The ball is loose and secured by Alexis Mariquin. The passes back to the middle. Cleared by St. Ambrose. The Bees are in possession on the defensive side. Back into the box. St. Ambrose is trying to keep their winning streak alive against the Fighting Saints. They've lost only once to the Saints all time, 3 years ago. Tipped into the box. A little bit of a run from Tori Timmerman, but Estrada waits back on that and sends it straight into the air out of bounds. I don't think that's where she intended to go with that kick. Riley Garcia is coming in for St. Ambrose. Tori Timmerman heads out. Garcia is a sophomore forward from Valparaiso. Adrian Latham will get the throw in. And then finally does toss it in. It's headed back to Evans and cleared there by Hernandez. Let's see Corona on the run to try to get to that ball. Can't make it. Sent back the other direction. Haley Salander sent it downfield. Yadira Estrada was there to pick it up on a bounce. Estrada punts it across midfield to Corona. Corona loses it off the first touch. Hernandez battling to try to get the ball back. She is not able to do it, but Lauren Pekulski does. Pekulski chipped it ahead. Intercepted again by St. Ambrose. They continue to play very impressive defensive game. It's going to be St. Ambrose's possession here. Under 20 minutes to play. We're in the first half, and it's 1-0 in favor of the Fighting Bees. They scored in the first 4 minutes. Nothing since. They'll get a chance on a free kick here. The rest of the offense positions itself back in the box for the Bees. And Wallen has it set up to take the kick from the right side, about 45 yards out. Into the box, deflected by Piotrowski. Can she get it out of harm's way? She does. Hitting it high into the air to the right side, along the sideline. St. Ambrose sends it back the other way in a hurry, down into the corner. Ball remains in bounds, looking for a cross. It's still in. It's Evans working against Mendez, and Mendez takes it away. So Mendez forces Evans off the ball, pushes it down the sideline, goes back out of bounds, but we're much further downfield now. At midfield, Fighting Saints have at least calmed any immediate danger after what was a promising offensive push for St. Ambrose. They pushed the ball back in here, deflected back towards the sideline, and knocked out of bounds, this time on St. Ambrose. Fighting Saints will bring in a sub here. Haley Bartlaga is coming in. Claudia Hernandez gets a seat. Here come the Beads down the sideline. Taylor to Splinter, passes it into the middle of the field. And well defended by the Fighting Saints there. Allison Shar got in the way and knocked it forward. Down into the box, and Willett waits back on it and scoops it up. There's a good interception by the Saints. Now a chance in the box. Corona is taken down. No whistle. Play continues. That shot deflected. Back to St. Francis. They keep the possession alive. It's Lauren Pekulski. Pekulski taps it ahead to Shar. Allison Shar looking to develop something to the sideline. She takes it out of bounds. Tough break for the Fighting Saints there. Corona looked like she had a good scoring chance. Tripped up in the box. No penalty was called. And as play continued, the attack sort of petered out for the Fighting Saints. Now it's out of bounds. It's the St. Ambrose throw-in. And Morgan Wallen gets it right back out. Past Grace Giallo on that throw. Brought in by Riley Garcia of St. Ambrose. Garcia passes off to her right. Grace Kochar. Into the box. And knocked away. Good defense by the Saints. Alyssa Chishner tried to get a shot off there, but wasn't able to do so. And now we go back down to the corner. Corner kick is how St. Ambrose got their first goal. Trying to make it 2 in a row here. The kick drifts towards the net and is headed out of bounds. Again towards the net, but wide to the left. A close call for St. Francis. St. Ambrose is not able to score this time. Here's Pekulski over to Shar. Back to Grace Giallo. Giallo's pass is intercepted. That's Natalie Miller. Evans. Long run for Riley Garcia, and Garcia not able to get to it. Not a bad idea from Evans there. Just a little bit too far out in front of Garcia. Good through ball off the foot. Garcia got to it just a little bit faster. Would have been a nice opportunity for St. Ambrose. Instead, the ball had a little bit too much juice on it. And it became an easy pickup for Yadira Estrada. St. Ambrose stifles that St. Francis possession. From midfield, Evans sends it away, and Galvin heads it back towards the box and out of bounds for a corner kick. Galvin, I think, was trying to get that ball to Yadira Estrada, directed it too far over to her left, though. And so the goalkeeper was never able to pick it up. Instead, it just kept spinning and finally rolling over the line out of bounds. Estrada had no chance to save that one to prevent this corner kick. Kick will be taken by Grace Kochar. Over everybody's head to the backside and out of bounds on the opposite end. This time for a goal kick as nobody touched it out of the corner. Looks like Natalie Salgado is coming in for the Fighting Saints here. St. Ambrose is making a substitution as well. I think that's Abigail Goff who just checked in. Yeah, that's Goff, all right. Freshman from Dixon, Illinois. Tapped out of bounds on the far sideline. Last touch by St. Ambrose. St. Francis possession at Salgado, getting herself involved immediately. There's a collision. The collision won by St. Francis as Giallo keeps her footing and keeps the ball in her possession to the sideline. Battle for it now. And it is won by Grace Kochar. Deflection in the box. Still loose for St. Ambrose, and the Saints clear it. To the right side, it's intercepted by the Fighting Bees. No real offensive rhythm for St. Francis for a while now. St. Ambrose hasn't been much better. Saints' best opportunities so far in this one have come off of free kicks from Litzy Corona. Bounces across midfield. Two defenders in the way. Piotrowski heads it. But right back to Grace Kochar. Kochar is able to shake off the defender and pass it behind her. There's Mary Evans to her right. Keely Frericks to the far outside. Back to Frericks, and Frericks sends it across field. They're playing keep away at the moment, and they're doing so pretty successfully. That pass somehow finds its way to Kochar, and the weak shot there rolls easily into the hands of Yadira Estrada. Good punt from Yadira Estrada. And now a chance at a counterattack for St. Francis. Mara Quinton passes off to the left side. Corona works her way in deep. Corona's cross to the backside. Bartlaga not quite there. It was a little bit out in front of her. And she lets it roll out of bounds for a St. Ambrose throw-in. Good opportunity there for St. Francis. After the shot was saved on the other end. Shot from Grace Kochar. Saved by Yadira Estrada. Saints are able to mount a narrow miss on the counterattack. Not much of an attack here from St. Ambrose as the balls sit from more than half the field out and rolls easily into Yadira Estrada's hands. Can the Saints make up any ground offensively here? They'd love to go into halftime with a tie score. Just over 9 minutes until halftime now. That's out for a goal kick for St. Ambrose. Fighting Bees are 7-4 this year. They've been as good as St. Francis has in conference games, both teams 5-2. Saints' two losses have come to Cardinal Stritch and Olivet Nazarene. They make up Holy Cross and Olivet Nazarene. They make up 2 of the top 4 spots in the conference rankings so far this year. I said it at the top of the broadcast, there are 6 teams right now within 3 points of each other. So each game is enormous. Bounces at midfield, knocked forward for St. Ambrose, and the Saints quickly take it away. St. Francis defense back to its old tricks after they let up on that goal. They've been very good again, helping Yadira Estrada out since that time. 7 shutouts in 10 games coming into this Saturday afternoon contest for the Fighting Saints. 7 shutouts in 10 games. They had only allowed 6 goals all year. And only in 3 games. A 1, a 2, and a 3. Today they're doing something they haven't had to do much of this season. That's play from behind. They've been playing from behind all the way so far in this. Never had a really good scoring chance themselves, save for a couple of good free kicks from Litzy Corona, who makes the run here. Corona into the box, takes this shot, and again rolls it wide to the right. Audible gasp from the crowd as that one dribbled out of bounds. A very similar spot to a shot she attempted earlier in the half. Looks like Azuri Sanchez is coming in for the Fighting Saints. Sanchez is making her 7th appearance on the pitch this season. Run for Bartlaga in front of the net. Haley Bartlaga has the ball loose still, takes the second effort, and a great stop by Willett as that ball rolls towards the sideline and out of bounds. Rachel Willett made 2 excellent plays in a row. Got the initial stop on the rebound. Bartlaga tried to score again, but Willett was able to throw her body in front of it the second time around. And that shot from Corona trickles out easily. It was deflected out. So we've got a goal kick here. Or corner kick, sorry. Corner kick here for St. Francis. Litzy Corona on the corner kick. Sends it in deep towards the back end of the box. Alexis Mariquin is there. She has it taken away from her. And St. Ambrose avoids any damage on the corner kick. Here's an interception, though, for Sanchez. Sanchez sends immediately in front of everybody. I'm not sure if that was intended to be a pass or a shot. That was her first touch of the game. She might be a little bit out of rhythm. She was a little bit too quick to get that ball off of her foot with nobody in front of her. Here comes Allison Shar. Shar taps it ahead. Nobody there in white. Easy clearance for St. Ambrose. This is sent towards the sideline. That's out of bounds. It's St. Ambrose ball with just about 5 minutes remaining in the first half. 1-0. St. Ambrose leads. That one goal came very early in this first half. It's been pretty smooth sailing since then. Quiet on both ends. Saints have possession going from left to right across the screen here. Interception by the St. Ambrose defense. Back ahead to midfield. It's deflected out of bounds by the Saints. It's a battle for the ball on the offensive side of St. Ambrose. It is secured by the Bees. Sent down the field to the right side. Piotrowski's able to knock the ball away. It's loose in the corner. Another chance potentially for St. Ambrose as the ball is lost out of bounds, but it goes out on Piotrowski. So we've got a goal kick. Or, sorry, a corner kick. I don't know why I keep doing that. They're the opposites. Ball is set up in the corner. Or a throw-in, rather. It's a throw-in along the sideline, not out the back line. So it's a further mistake, really. Tossed in by Latham, headed right back to Latham, who tries to tap it into the middle of the field. There's a shot, and that's over the net and out of bounds. Looked like Grace Kochar took that shot. And way under the ball that time as she lifted it well over the net and out. Goal kick is nearly intercepted by St. Ambrose. The Saints are able to clear it at midfield. Off the head of Bartlaga, over to her right, looking for Azuri Sanchez. And Sanchez hits it out of bounds. Throw in for Kochar. Game is being played at the sideline right now. One of these two teams will try to turn it inside, and it's going to be St. Ambrose. Evans rolls it out in front of the net. Here's a run to the left side, corner of the box. And a whistle blows. A foul is called on St. Francis. Abigail Goff was tripped up. It was a good individual effort from Goff. She shook her way left and right, leaving defenders in her wake. Finally tripped up at the end of the play. And from just under 25 yards out, it's a free kick for St. Ambrose. And it'll be Mary Evans taking the kick. Evans has one goal this season. She's at close enough range certainly to put it on net herself. See if she tries to do that or if she uses one of her teammates. Here's the ball from Evans. She does put it on goal and scores in the goal. Off the free kick, Mary Evans doubles the St. Ambrose lead. She makes it 2-0 here in the final minutes of the first half. So St. Ambrose gets one in the opening few minutes, and they get another one in the final few minutes of the first half. Mary Evans has her second goal and her 5th point of the season. And a tough way for St. Francis to wrap up this half. Not that it's over yet, but if they're not able to score in the next minute and a half, to go in a halftime trailing 2-0, not what they're looking for. They weren't looking for 1-0 either, but this is a good deal worse. A very warm and sunny, unseasonably warm Saturday afternoon in October. Saints are trying to cool down the Bees here. St. Ambrose has possession again, and it's cleared by the Fighting Saints. Saints overall, I think, have probably outplayed St. Ambrose today, but the winner is not declared by who had the ball for more possession or who had more shots. It's how many of them went in. 2 excellent shots from a couple of St. Ambrose veterans. Morgan Wallen, the senior, scored the first goal. Junior Mary Evans gets the second one. Just 20 seconds on the clock now. I'm not sure either team is going to be able to get another shot off this half, as they remain muddled at midfield. Neither side able to get an advantage, and now St. Ambrose does. Final 10 seconds. Kelly Piotrowski chases this ball down and lets it roll out of bounds. So that's how the first half will end. St. Ambrose leads it 2-0. They scored a goal early on. They scored another one late in the half. That second one on the Evans free kick. The first one came indirectly off of a corner kick. So the set pieces have been working pretty well for the Fighting Bees so far today. Everything's been working well for the Bees. They lead 2-0. Got a break here for halftime. We'll be back in about 15 minutes, and then we'll deliver second half action as St. Francis tries to play the comeback game in order to avoid their first back-to-back losses of the season. 2-0, St. Ambrose leads at the half. Halftime here in Joliet just about set to expire as we are ready for the start of the second half between the University of St. Francis and St. Ambrose University. So far, this game has been owned by the Bees. They lead it 2-0. After 45 minutes of play, they scored their first goal just a few minutes in. It was the 4th minute. Morgan Wallen was able to put one in coming off of a corner kick. A couple of passes coming in. One from Erin Smothers set up Wallen from off to the right side. Her 8th goal of the season made it 1-0, and then it was a stalemate the rest of the way until finally the final moments of the first half in the 44th minute. Mary Evans on a free kick just outside the box to the left side. She was able to put one in and make it 2-0 as the two sides have flipped directions now. We're underway in the second half. St. Ambrose going from left to right. Got the opening kick, sent it right out of bounds. Now they put some pressure on the St. Francis defense. The Fighting Saints are able to get rid of it. Kelly Piotrowski right down the middle of the field. Taken back by Keely Frericks of St. Ambrose and rolled off to the far side of the field. Set up for a shot, and Yadira Estrada is able to play it on a hop. Estrada in the first half was credited with just one save overall. 3 shots on goal for St. Ambrose. 2 of them went in. Overall, St. Francis actually outshot St. Ambrose 9-6. Shots on goal was 5-3 in favor of the Fighting Saints, and that was the case for the majority of the first half, is that St. Francis did look like the better team in terms of possession, in terms of getting shots, scoring opportunities, keeping the ball on their offensive side of the field, but St. Ambrose just did a better job of capitalizing on the opportunities that they got, even though they weren't as plentiful, and so they've got the 2-goal lead right now. But remember, St. Francis led 2-0 in their last game before falling 3-2. In fact, they gave up a goal in that one in the final minute of play. That sent it to overtime and forced the defense to step in for another extra couple of minutes before Olivet Nazarene got the game-winning goal in the 94th minute. But it just goes to show you got to play it all the way out to the final minute, even though St. Ambrose has been the better team on the scoreboard. The objective observer might suggest that St. Francis has appeared the better team on the field, which leads you to believe they'll have their opportunities to make the comeback here. The free kick from midfield bounces once and is caught by the goalkeeper Rachel Willett. Willett's had a nice game so far. 5 saves in the first half. A couple of them were really impressive. Most notably on a free kick from Litzy Corona. She was able to stick. And then late in the half, Haley Bartlaga had a couple of really good chances. Willett at one point made 2 excellent saves on the same play. Knocked it away initially, and then on the rebound, saved another one, both from Bartlaga. So Willett's had a great game so far. She and the defense of St. Ambrose are able to force the Saints to get the ball all the way back to their goalkeeper here. Yadira Estrada gives a big kick down the sideline, and it goes right out of bounds for a throw-in for St. Ambrose. Starters are out there for both teams now, but we could probably expect to see some subs later on in the half. It is very warm for the season day. Temperatures in the low 80s. Hernandez is knocked to the ground there. She was surprised that there was no whistle blown, but play continues as St. Ambrose takes possession away. So it's not exceptionally hot. The season began in August, so teams are certainly not unaccustomed to playing in this type of weather. They just don't really expect it this time of year. The low 80s and sunny. So that it's the type of day that will sap your energy pretty quickly. We did see 3 subs used by St. Francis in the first half and 4 by St. Ambrose. I would expect maybe a few more minutes than usual played by reserves today. We'll see how it plays out. St. Francis trying to get possession. Claudia Hernandez passes it to her right. Down the sideline. They try to get it ahead to Litzy Corona, a little bit too far out in front of her. And Latham is able to stay in between that ball and Corona. And Latham watches the ball roll all the way back into the hands of the goalkeeper, Rachel Willett. So here comes St. Ambrose now on the counterattack, going towards the far side of the field. Straight down the middle on that pass towards Tori Timmerman knocked away by the Fighting Saints defense. Now chipped into the box, and Estrada on a jump makes the play on a high bounce of that ball. She'll send it away just about 5 minutes into the second half. 2-0, St. Ambrose has the lead. They've led pretty much the whole way so far. We spent all of 3 minutes and 17 seconds tied before the Bees first got on the board, and they've only extended it since then. St. Francis was unable to come up with the equalizer earlier as Mariquin hits it out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick here for the Fighting Bees. Task was made more difficult at the end of the first half when St. Ambrose scored their second goal. Lauren Pekulski's ball is deflected by Mary Evans. Evans has one of the 2 goals in today's game. Her second of the year. Playing defense there. Deflects it towards the sidelines. Last touched by St. Francis before going out. And St. Ambrose throws it in. It's Evans on the throw. Back towards the middle of the field. It's taken away by Claudia Hernandez, but she loses it to Taylor DeSplinter. Now Smothers on the near side for St. Ambrose, streaking down the sideline. Chased all the way by Jakubiak. She takes it all the way to the back line and dribbles it too far. So good defense by Jakubiak. She forced Smothers to keep working and working and working, and eventually Aaron Smothers just ran out of real estate. So Estrada gets the goal kick. Here's DeSplinter trying to get it back to the middle of the field. She's got Evans, dead center, and Evans passes it off to the left side to Natalie Miller. Miller back to Mary Evans. Rolled off to the far side. St. Francis takes it away. And it's Allison Shar. Shar's had a quiet day so far, usually very active in the offensive game for St. Francis. This one hasn't been too offensive overall for the Fighting Saints, or really for either team. St. Ambrose does have a couple of goals, but they've had limited opportunities to score. They've just done a good job of putting the ball past Estrada, but overall, most of this game seems to be played in the middle third. Tapped out of bounds by Morgan Wallen. The Saints try to move quickly down the sideline as Mariquin gets it in to Litzy Corona, but Corona not able to control it off the first touch, taken away by the team in blue. Wallen passes off to her left. Grace Giallo takes that ball away from Caitlin Brunson, who tried to chase it down. Brunson's another player who's been pretty quiet today after being named the Conference Player of the Week just a week ago. Both of these teams entered play today with 15 points in conference play. Chasing Cardinal Stritch and Trinity Christian, who are atop the conference with 18 points each. St. Francis has not played either of those teams yet, so they'll have the opportunity to gain some ground on the top teams. Trinity Christian coming up just next week. Cardinal Stritch a little later in the season. St. Ambrose on the near side. It's Aaron Smothers. Smothers directs it right in front of her. Turn from DeSplinter. Finds Evans in the middle of the pitch. Sent into the box, deflected to DeSplinter. Her shot is in for a goal. Taylor DeSplinter, the freshman for St. Ambrose, scores for the 4th time this year. And the lead is now 3-0 for St. Ambrose. And this matches the most goals allowed by St. Francis in any game this year. matches the total from Wednesday at Olivet Nazarene. So twice in a row they've done it. They've allowed 6 goals the last 2 games after they had allowed just 3 goals total over the first 9 games. DeSplinter snuck in behind the entire defense that time and really was uncontested on the shot. It was just DeSplinter against Yadira Estrada, and Estrada was unable to make the diving stop. So DeSplinter scores the goal. This season, she leads the team with 5 assists. That gives her 13 points overall now for the year. And that number ranks second on the team behind Morgan Wallen, who scored a goal earlier this afternoon. Been a long day at the field today for St. Francis, trailing 3-0 now. Even though they haven't played poorly, they find themselves in a big deficit. Allison Shar turns around and passes back to Jakubiak. Jakubiak takes a long-range shot, and Willett has an easy stop on a hop. Jakubiak sent that one in from more than 25 yards out and a little bit off balance. Not much of a chance for her there, but trying to create something. Chances have been limited for St. Francis. They need to score in a hurry. There's still a long way to go in this game. Over 34 minutes, but as much time as that may seem like when you're down 3 goals, any amount of time doesn't seem like quite as much as you need. So the Saints are really going to have to pick up the pace offensively. Here's Timmerman. Down the sideline and too far out in front of the rest of the Bees. It's out of bounds. Throw in here for the Fighting Saints. Haley Bartlaga is going to come back in now for the Fighting Saints. Riley Garcia stands on the sideline for St. Ambrose. She's ready to go. It's just not quite her turn yet. It's a St. Francis throw in here. As Bartlaga checks in, Litzy Mendez comes off the field for the moment. Adrian Latham picks the ball up. Latham will get the throw in for St. Ambrose. Deep into their attacking third of the field. Sent in front of the net and ricochets immediately out of bounds for a corner kick. Another chance here for St. Ambrose. This is their 4th corner kick of the game. St. Francis has had 3 of them. One of those corners has produced a goal. The first one, in fact, for St. Ambrose. Got them on the board in the 4th minute. Brunson will be the one on the kick here. Brunson goes right in front of the net, and Estrada is able to jump out in front of the post and make the stop. Nice job by Yadira Estrada, taking control there. Her punt way downfield ricochets off the foot of Litzy Corona and right back to the goalie Willett. So we reverse field. Willett, instead of punting it down the other way, elects to just roll it directly in front of her. Here's DeSplinter. Evans off to her left. Miller. Down to the back line. Piotrowski trying to seal that off and let it go out of bounds, and she does. Garcia was fighting with Piotrowski the whole way there, trying to get to that ball, and Riley Garcia just couldn't force her way through the St. Francis defender. So the Fighting Saints are able to turn the ball around, try to take it the other way. Into plus territory here. Litzy Corona. Corona can't keep it in bounds. So it goes out. It's a St. Ambrose throw. Litzy Corona so far today has taken 4 shots. One of them on goal. None of them obviously have gone in. She has been arguably the top offensive player in the conference this year, one of the best in the country, just in terms of the volume of shots she gets. She's got 15 goals already this season, but today she's been unsuccessful on her 4 attempts. This is pushed through, and that's too far out in front of Corona. Haley Salander, the closest one to that ball, wearing a St. Ambrose uniform. And Salander slowed down on it as it went straight out of bounds. We got a goal kick here. Frericks off to Evans on her left. Evans chases it to the sideline, and Hernandez is there to deflect the pass. So Claudia Hernandez takes it away for St. Francis. Good defense for Hernandez, the junior defender. And again, too far out in front of Corona. She tried to catch St. Ambrose off guard by chasing that one down at the last second after the Bees all gave up on it, but she couldn't get there in time. So it's another goal kick for the Fighting Bees. Under a half hour to play now for the rest of this game. St. Francis looking for some kind of offensive answer here. St. Ambrose has been awfully good defensively. Trying to step up defensively again here. Corona pokes it away from Latham, but can't free herself up to take a shot as Willett reaches that ball first. St. Ambrose came into play today with 40 goals on the season in 11 games played. St. Francis was at 44. They had played one fewer game and still have played one fewer game. It's 10 compared to 11 at the start of play today. Here's a run for St. Ambrose. To the left side, this is Brunson. Brunson takes the shot. Estrada knocks it down in front of the net and picks it up off the bounce. Nice play by Yadira Estrada. But it looked like she was standing out of bounds as she knocked that ball down, so it's going to be a corner kick. I was about to say, from this angle, it didn't look like that ball was going in. It looked like it was probably curling off to the side of the net before Estrada made the stop. Hard to tell exactly, though. The fact that she was standing out of bounds as she grabbed it is an indication that it probably was going off to the side of the net had she not made the catch. Regardless, she was out, and so it is a corner kick for St. Ambrose, trying to put the game away with one more goal. Grace Kochar and Alyssa Chichner are back in for St. Ambrose. Kick comes right in front of the net, and again, Estrada grabs it out of the air. Second corner kick in a row for St. Ambrose, in which they put it just too close to the net. And Estrada has been able to get to it before any of the St. Ambrose attackers have. Here comes Corona wearing the long sleeves. She passes off to the right side. A little bit too far wide for Bartlaga to pull in. So it ends up bounding towards the sideline and out. Throw in for Latham is headed back by Hernandez. Cleared by Mary Evans. Goes St. Francis's way after a couple of challenges on headers. Alexis Mariquin taps it forward, looking for Corona, and again, too far for Corona to run. It is out of bounds, and it's the St. Ambrose throw-in that allows them to make another substitution. Abigail Goff is back on the field, so everybody who played off the bench in the first half for St. Ambrose is back out there again now. Not yet halfway through this second period. St. Ambrose is following the same track they had in the first half, which is score a goal early. They scored one late in the first half as well. Saints would just as soon avoid that, but it's not going to matter if they can't get some goals on the board. The difference between 3-0 and 4-0 is negligible. But if the Saints can start to score, then one more goal would Be pretty important for St. Ambrose. Corona off to Mariquin, deflected out of bounds, last touch by Smothers. Throw in here for Anna Jakubiak. Her throw is immediately intercepted by Smothers, deflected back to Natalie Salgado. Salgado to Mariquin into the middle of the field, a run from Bartlaga, but Latham gets there first and knocks it out the back line. We've got a corner kick coming up. First one of these this half for St. Francis. Seen a couple of attempts from St. Ambrose that have gone for naught. This is Anna Jakubiak, who's got it set for the corner kick on the near side for St. Francis. Jakubiak, the freshman, ready to send it on its way. Front post, deflected once in front of the net. Bartlaga tries to get a shot off, but it's knocked away from her. Well defended that time by Abigail Goff. She's the one who was able to knock the ball away from Bartlaga and prevent the St. Francis sophomore from getting a shot off. So the Saints start over from square one trying to get a shot here. Ellison Shar passes it back. Sanchez trying to get it for the Fighting Saints. Passed into the middle of the field. Sent down to Mariquin. Nothing doing there. St. Ambrose able to clear it. And sent ahead to Chishner. Knocked away from Chishner by Hernandez out of bounds. Throw in for St. Ambrose. This is Smothers on the sideline. She passes it to a backpedaling Salander. Salander gets it downfield. Credit to the Saints. They're keeping the pressure on as there's a trip. Shar is tripped up by Frericks. And that'll allow a free kick from offensive territory for St. Francis, and this is where they've kept the ball these last several minutes. Down by 3 goals. They're not getting a lot of good shots off, but they're trying to keep the pressure on St. Ambrose here. They've not allowed the Bees to have a run for a little while. It's been a few minutes. Kelly Piotrowski will get the kick here. She plays it short off to her right. Salgado takes a long-range shot and an easy save there for Willett. So off the free kick, Piotrowski goes straight to Salgado right in the middle of the field, but still 40 yards off the net. And Salgado tried to laser one in towards the net, but from way too far out. Willett had plenty of time to size it up, move to the right spot, and make the play. Good aggressive play on both sides as they exchange possessions a few times. Sanchez initially took it away from Garcia. Garcia got it back for St. Ambrose, and it is knocked out of bounds by the Saints. Latham steps up for the throw-in. Off of the first bounce, Claudia Hernandez pushes it up into the air. Now it's loose in front of the box. Jakubiak and Hernandez battling with Chishner. Chishner is not able to come away with the ball. The Saints knock it down the field towards the far sideline. Corona can't get there. Latham has the goalkeeper in front of her, so she just passes it straight ahead. Straight behind the play. Deflected right back to Willett, and this time she picks it up on her own. Rather than getting the pass, it was just deflected back to her. In the midfield circle, St. Ambrose able to take control, but only briefly as Piotrowski knocks it back the other way. Right back to St. Ambrose. Garcia pushes ahead to Chishner. Chishner on the run, but Estrada gets to the ball before Chishner does. So no shot taken by Chishner, no chance for it. Estrada sends a low line drive punt rolling to midfield. It's deflected off the foot of Alexis Mariquin and taken back by St. Ambrose. Mariquin unable to control possession there for the Fighting Saints. Here comes St. Ambrose from the far sideline. Shar goes after the ball, tripped up by Evans. No foul called as Evans keeps possession of the ball and passes it back behind her. Rolled to the right. Salander ahead to Smothers. Smothers taps it to her left. Good tackle by Natalie Salgado. She takes it away from Frericks. Salgado ahead for Corona. Corona into the box. Corona takes it towards the corner, takes the shot, and it's saved by Willett. Tough shot for Corona. Just the fact that she was able to get that shot off and put it on goal was impressive in its own right. But a good run leading up to that point. A couple of good passes to get there as well, but Corona was just taken too far out of position. She was off the angle to get a good shot off with a couple of defenders in her way. Again, just the fact that she was able to put that shot on goal was really impressive. She was not able to finish it. This is deflected out of bounds. The shot from Goff is sent away by Hernandez. Out of bounds for a Fighting Bees throw-in. Aaron Smothers will do the honors. Lobs it along the sideline. Hernandez comes in strong with the head and taps it right back out of bounds. Whole field still enveloped in sunshine here. A beautiful Saturday afternoon. As I've said before, unseasonably warm for this stage of fall. Knocked out of bounds along the back line by Jakubiak off the throw. Well, didn't hit anybody else. Thrown directly in front of the net. And Jakubiak knocking it out means we've got a corner kick coming our way. Pretty good breeze blowing. Flags for the second half have been blowing at the backs of St. Francis attack. They go short with this corner kick. Chishner back to Evans. Taps it to her left, and Goff. Saints were ready for it that time as Frericks takes the shot, and on a short hop, it is picked up by Yadira Estrada. Similar to what St. Ambrose did on their first corner kick, as this punt bounces all the way back to Willett. That first corner kick of the game for St. Ambrose, instead of setting it in front of the net, they just set up a shot with a couple of quick short passes, 2 or 3 of them, and then finally the shot that went in. Looked like they were trying something similar there, but St. Francis was able to sniff it out. Tapped out of bounds by the Bees. Saints throw in. 18.5 minutes to play now, and St. Francis goes to their bench. Sandy Garcia and Alexa Valencia Corona make their first appearances of the day. Pekulski is back in as well, so 3 subs. Giallo, Shar, and Jakubiak come out. A couple of new defenders in there. Alpolar maybe looking for more offense by bringing in some midfielders to play on the defensive side, with both Giallo and Jakubiak departing. Here's Evans sending it ahead, cleared by Claudia Hernandez. Here's Evans. Evans' pass is intercepted by Hernandez. It's knocked out of bounds. Looks like with the extra midfielders coming in, Hernandez has actually dropped back into more of a defensive position here for the latter stages of this game. 3-0, St. Ambrose leads St. Francis. A lot of work needs to be done by the Fighting Saints if they want to avoid their 2nd consecutive loss, and what would be just their 3rd all season. They had a 3-match winning streak coming into Wednesday against Olivet. Had it in front of the net. Yadira Estrada steps up and makes the play. St. Ambrose tries to keep this attack going. Evans sends it in from long range. Estrada stepped up, nearly misjudged it, had to step back, and she ends up making the catch. So she took one wrong step, but recovered from it almost immediately. Nice job by Estrada. The Saints were riding a 3-game winning streak coming into their game on Wednesday. They had just beaten Calumet 6-0. They were 8-1 overall, and they had a 2-goal lead on Olivet. Things seem to be shaping up pretty nicely for the Fighting Saints, but they've been outscored since that 2-0 lead against Olivet Nazarene, 6-0 over the last 2 contests. Long run for Corona. Good individual effort from her. She covered a lot of ground there with the ball. Ultimately, it's knocked out by Aaron Smothers. Valencia Corona passes back to Sandy Garcia. Knocked away by St. Ambrose. Hernandez tries to keep it in bounds and can't. So St. Ambrose will get a throw. Genevieve Bowyer is coming in, and Allie Govert as well for the Bees. With 3 defenders around her, Frericks gives up the ball, finds Garcia. Off to Goff. Abigail Goff works her way into the middle. Goff looking to set up the shot. Kelly Pietrowski didn't let her do it. Nice defense by the Fighting Saints. There's one from way out there. Estrada steps in. Can't get it cleanly because there was too much pressure around her. Ball ends up being knocked out of bounds by that pressure. Riley Garcia was the one who pushed it away from Estrada and touched it last before the ball went out of bounds. So we've got a goal kick. Wind has picked up a little bit. It's blowing across the field as well as a little bit at the backs of St. Francis. Blowing towards this near side here. Pietrowski taps it towards the defender. Intercepted for the moment by St. Ambrose. Along the sideline again, Grace Kochar, long kick. Able to hook up with Riley Garcia. Garcia is forced off the ball by Natalie Salgado. Bounces along the sideline. Latham steps up. Latham taps it off to her left. Scramble for the ball there. It'll be won by St. Francis ultimately as they get the throw in, with St. Ambrose hitting it out. Hit right back out, but this time by a Fighting Saint player. Saints have been shut out just one time this year. It was on the road at Holy Cross late last month. They have not been shut out at home. In fact, they haven't lost a match at home yet this season. Both of those streaks are in jeopardy right now. They've got just over 13 minutes in order to get at least 1 goal to avoid the shutout, and at least 3 goals to avoid the loss. Here's a chance for Riley Garcia. Garcia taps it back. Over to the right sideline. Mariquin nearly took it away, but lost the ball. Had it turned around. Now a shot from Evans. And it's a little bit high. Over the net on the shot from Mary Evans. Evans scored from a similar spot on the field, granted on the other side, because it was back in the first half. But that had been on a free kick. A little bit of a different story in the actual flow of the game. But she was feeling it from out there and came up a little bit high. But with a 3-goal lead at this stage of the match, you know that St. Ambrose is probably pretty happy with anything that results in an extra 20 or 30 seconds running off the clock. And anytime the ball goes out of bounds, they can let it roll off. It's knocked out. There's a tie-up before the ball went out of bounds. Resulted in Hernandez being on the ground. They're getting tied up with Chishner. And so the whistle indicated a foul against Chishner and the Fighting Bees. It's a free kick here for Yadira Estrada, right along the back line near the corner. Kick is away, near side, headed into the air by Frericks, straight up, Came right back down. Sandy Garcia played it. Now Merrick went ahead towards Piotrowski. It gets by her right foot and rolls all the way back to Rachel Willett. Willett holds the ball in her clutches, punts it across the middle of the field. Pekulski going to work against Allie Govert. Govert does a nice job of challenging and getting that ball away. Here comes a run to the left side, a shot, and it looked like it hit off the post there, out of bounds. Good run from Riley Garcia. Garcia's not quite able to finish. It was a close call, though. St. Ambrose continues to get really good opportunities for themselves. It's been impressive throughout the afternoon. St. Francis has had more chances. St. Ambrose has had the better chances to score and have taken advantage of those. Back to Estrada again. No need for a dramatic save here. In the midfield circle, the battle for possession won by St. Ambrose. Here's Wallen, who scored the goal back in the first half, the first goal. A little bit quiet since then. They haven't needed her to be anything but. Hernandez tried to get it through to Corona. Headed away, though, by Wallen. Hernandez wins that tussle for the ball with Chishner. No foul called as Chishner hits the ground. A little bit slow to get herself up, but once she realized no whistle was coming, she was able to help herself back up and get back into the play. As it turns out, the play is kind of halted anyway because the ball went out of bounds. We've got a goal kick for St. Ambrose. And again, they can take their time here. Not that they're going to intentionally play the slowdown game here, but while St. Francis desperately needs a few goals, there is no need for St. Ambrose to play with any sense of urgency here, up by 3 late. This is Evans. Mary Evans rolls it ahead to Wallen. Wallen steps out of the circle. Passes back to Evans. Across midfield with that pass from Evans. Kochar's ball kind of dies looking for Abigail Goff. And here come the Saints. Knocked away. Evans, good defense. Stopping the run from Sandy Garcia before it can ever really start. Ball in play at St. Ambrose. Kochar. Back to the defense. To Evans on the far sideline. Evans keeps it in bounds. Passes it ahead. Here's Goff. Goff sends one in towards the box, and there's nobody there to receive it for St. Ambrose. Ball goes straight out of bounds on the opposite end of the field from where she kicked it, so it's a throw-in for the Saints. Sandy Garcia tries to turn it around on a header. It's a nice header. Kelly Piotrowski one-touches it, but it's deflected at midfield by Genevieve Bowyer. Saints try to get it back, but they're not able to gain clean possession. It's Chishner again. Chishner for St. Ambrose. Trying to turn it upfield. Finds Morgan Wallen. Passed off to Mary Evans. Evans rolls it ahead, looking for Garcia. She wasn't there. Instead, it's Yadira Estrada running up from the goalkeeper's position and grabbing that ball. A high bouncing punt. Corona trying to be the first one to touch it off the punch. She is. It's tapped away from her by Aaron Smothers, but out the back line for a corner kick. Well, if St. Francis is ever going to make any noise in this game, now is the time to do it. Here's Corona's kick off the foot of Piotrowski. It goes the wrong way and deflects right back out to Mary Evans, who's able to clear it for St. Ambrose. No luck today on corner kicks for St. Francis. They're 0 for 5 and even trying to get a shot off. Although they've had some good shots on some other set chances, free kicks. Six minutes and 16 seconds remaining. With the clock stopped, we're ready to go. St. Francis throw in. Corona deflects it out of bounds. Some starters come back in for St. Ambrose. DeSplinter and Brunson. DeSplinter scored a goal earlier today, her 4th of the year. Brunson has not scored a goal today. She's been really good at doing that lately, though. Named the conference's Offensive Player of the Week last week. She probably won't get the same award this week, but it is of no matter to her because her team's winning. So it means the most right now for St. Ambrose, as they are now just over 5 minutes away from getting a crucial victory and moving ahead of St. Francis in the conference standings. Both teams came in at 5-2. Both teams have 15 points in conference. Both teams are potentially just one win away from first place because Cardinal Stritch and Trinity Christian are tied at 18. Getting them both to lose, though, it's always easier said than done. Tossed in to Azuri Sanchez. Taken away by St. Ambrose. And they're able to get it back across midfield. Tori Timmerman with some nifty ball work. Tries to shake off Pekalski. Pekalski's there for the deflection, though. Timmerman chops it up along the sideline and towards that back line. And we're going to head into the corner. St. Francis touched it last, sending it out for a corner kick. St. Ambrose has yet another chance to put it away from the corner here with under 4 minutes to play now. 3 goals, maybe too big a deficit for St. Francis to overcome anyway, especially as St. Ambrose has not really given them much by way of offensive chances. Here's the kick. Line drive in front of the net. Headed away by the Fighting Saints. Tapped away by the Fighting Saints again, and now finally trying to clear it towards the sideline. They do just that. So St. Ambrose will get a throw in here, but once again, letting some clock run as the ball dies out of bounds. Claudia Hernandez whiffs on the kick, so a chance for Tori Timmerman as she works her way down low. Alexis Merrick tries to take it away, deflected in front of the net by the Saints, and it rolls out along the corner. Looked like that one went out along the sideline rather than the back line, so we'll get a throw in here and no corner kick. But a dangerous moment right there for St. Francis. And a nice job by the Saints defensively, stepping up late on that play and making sure that Estrada was not caught with a 4th goal on her. Here's the throw in from Latham in front of the near post. Headed away by Hernandez, kept alive by St. Ambrose. Goff turns and pushes it across field. Looked like Brunson was offsides. The flag is up. Free kick here for the Fighting Saints. So we're at the stage now where St. Francis wants to get at least 1 goal, avoid this shutout. Again, it would be the 2nd time this season that they have been shut out. And this would be their worst loss of the season They have not dropped any game yet this year by more than 1. But it looks like they're on the verge of doing that right here as St. Ambrose has come in as the visitor and really put together an impressive performance. Knocked out of bounds by the Saints for a Bees throw-in. Adrian Latham slowly makes her way along that sideline to pick the ball up and toss it back into play. St. Ambrose played here back in February. So this is the second straight season that the Saints are hosting the Bees. And it looks like both of them will go as multi-goal wins for the visiting team. Corona's pass is intercepted, taken back the other way by St. Ambrose. This is DeSplinter. DeSplinter takes it in to Alexis Mariquin and knocks it out of bounds. Throw in for St. Ambrose with less than a minute to play. Knocked away by Piotrowski to the back line. Claudia Hernandez lets it roll out and quickly shovels it off to Yadira Estrada to get this one away. Saints will have one last chance to get on the scoreboard here. Headed back by St. Ambrose. Turning towards the sideline. DeSplinter deflects that pass from Salgado. Evans steps up with her header. Sends it forward once again for St. Ambrose. And doesn't look like the Bees are going to give the Saints another chance. They take a shot. It goes over the net. That deflects off the football crossbar. And that allows the clock to run out. We're under 10 seconds. And this game comes to an end with the final score of St. Ambrose 3 and St. Francis nothing. Long bus ride, well worth the trip for the Fighting Bees today. As they pick up their 8th victory of the season, they move ahead of St. Francis in the conference standings as they improve to 6-2. The Saints fall to 5-3 in conference play, 8-3 overall. And for the first time this year, the Saints have a losing streak. They've dropped back-to-back contests now. Tough week, falling at Olivet Nazarene and now at home for the first time this year to St. Ambrose. They had been 4-0 on their home field coming into play today. So the conference standings coming into today, Cardinal Stritch, Trinity Christian both at 18 points. Olivet Nazarene was at 16. And then it was St. Francis, Holy Cross, and St. Ambrose all jumbled together with 15. So St. Ambrose gets those all-important 3 points, and St. Francis still stuck on 15 for the moment. Quick recap of the scoring in this one. It didn't exactly feel over early, but it turns out the game-winning goal was scored in the first 4 minutes. Morgan Wallen, off a pass from Aaron Smothers following a short corner kick, put one in the right side of the net. That made it 1-0 again, just the 4th minute of play. And then there was no answer for that the rest of the night, so that did prove to be the game winner. But St. Ambrose tacked on a few more as we went along. Late in the first half, 44th minute, Mary Evans got a free kick from just outside the box and was able to send one in and make it a 2-0 St. Ambrose lead. And then in the second half, they came out not quite as early as in the first half, but they were able to get a third goal, this one coming from Taylor DeSplinter, the freshman. That made it 3-0 in the second half. It was not over yet at that point. The Saints still had well over a half hour to try to come back, but they just didn't have enough offensive firepower today. St. Ambrose's defense, which has only allowed 12 goals in 12 games played this year, was very good. The Saints defense, which had coming in only allowed 6 goals in 10 games, not quite as sharp today. They've allowed 3 goals now in back-to-back games after having only given up 4 all season, or rather 3 all season prior to that point. So it's back to the drawing board for them as they take a couple of days to think it over. They're back at home on Tuesday night against Trinity International University, and of course we'll have that game for you right here, so hopefully you're with us for that. Right now we got about a half-hour break, and then the men's teams will go head-to-head. St. Francis against St. Ambrose, part 2 of the doubleheader coming your way shortly. So join us for that as well, and for all of your St. Francis soccer updates, head over to GoFightingSaints.com. Final score, St. Ambrose 3, St. Francis nothing. That'll do it for this one. Talk to you again next time. Men's game coming up soon here on the USF Sports Network.